So yeah, man, I wanna talk to you guys today about you know quite probably the best guitar player of all time. All right, so let me just play a little guitar riff here just to see if I can play this even. So that's a little riff, obviously from Midnight Blues by Gary Moore, who, in my view, is gotta be the greatest guitar player to ever play the sixth string, man. And I mean, I love Irish musicians in general. The music of Ireland, from the old folk songs that have been there for hundreds of years, that the Irish have been singing. Singing against the British occupation, singing against, Mother Britannia, and singing about freedom and, their revolutions, or in the Irish, pronunciation, their revolution, kind of like the Jamaican revolutions. But when you look at both nations, the Irish and the Jamaicans, whom I also love, by the way, as musicians, is both nations have amazing music. And a lot of it, of course, is rooted in their political history of struggle, fighting against, enemy usurpers, and in both cases, the Brits trying to keep both nations down over the centuries. And so both nations just created these cultures. There were a lot of other factors, but where there's just really rich musical tradition in both cultures. And with the Irish in particular, I really like a lot of their music, like the folk music, the modern rock bands, even their metal acts, like what happened with Gary Moore, him playing in metal, and he played in metal music for quite a long time. Played with Thin Lizzy, the band, and played with a bunch of other bands as well. And eventually went solo, played metal solo. And he was an accomplished metal player, all right? Like, I really, when I listen to some of his metal songs, are literally like some of my very favorite songs of all time. So I really like his metal. Uh, Now, when he started out in metal, I think younger earlier on as a younger player, like his vocals, while good, were not great, right? Like you wouldn't confuse him for a Bob Marley, right? His vocals were not the greatest. And but in metal tends to be kind of forgiving with vocals. Like a lot of the guys in metal, some genres, subgenres of metal really can't sing. They just kind of scream and grunt, and shout. So that's all right. But when you are singing his metal ballads, oh, the guy really could sing, and I think he kicked it up a notch. I don't know if he took lessons from Michael Jackson at that point. I'm sure he didn't, but you get my point. But he was singing real well. Like he was probably going back to whoever his vocal instructors were early on, and kind of doing what they taught him to do. Like, okay, Gary, this is the technique. You gotta, this is how you gotta sing opera style, you know. Um, but his guitar playing was always top notch. Even when he was playing the metal, like his guitar playing, in fact, was so powerful, so overwhelming, so fast, so great, so consistent that when you hear Gary Moore's guitar playing, if you really know music, you kind of don't forget it. And that's something about guitar players like Gary Moore, or someone like Yngwie Malmsteen. Yngwie Malmsteen is another of those guitar players that, his guitar playing is just so powerful, so unique, so distinctive. that if you really hear it, it's kind of hard to get over it. It's kind of hard to forget it, or even to tear yourself away from it. And I like the funny Ingwe story that he tells about how he went over to Japan and he was playing, I guess he was playing some shows. And he was not even like a signed musician, like he was just playing some shows because they had brought him over there. And then he says like, and he was playing and the record label like heard him play and they started freaking out because when they heard him play, his playing was just so crazy. It was so unusual, like the neoclassical shred that Ingrid Malmsteen does. That they signed him up on the spot. They wanted an album, they wanted a record album, and that's how he got his first album deal, and that's how his first album came to be. And that's what happens with the really great guitar players like Ingwe, like that, or George Lynch, who again is another one of my favorite guitar players all time. But Gary Moore was just that kind of guitar player. One of those players that is just so accomplished, so technical, yet so flawless, so smooth, and plays with such feel, such emotion, and such powerful emotion that it literally can make you cry if you're not careful. if you're not careful. So you gotta be careful if you gotta listen to this Gary Moore music, because he really is that accomplished. And I wish I could have been able to go watch him play live, because if you can cry listening to his music just on tape, then being there going through a 3-hour show with Gary Moore would have been wild. Now, like I mentioned, he started out in metal and hard rock, but eventually he got the blues and he got a feel for the blues and he became a blues player. And he's probably one of the players that have really revolutionized the blues. You had the guys like the B.B. Kings, the Albert Kings, the legends of blues. Um, and they kind of gave blues this image as kind of like this slow, steady, kind of like slow, steady, mournful type, music that, old people might listen to. Now you take a metal shredder of shredders, Gary Moore, and you throw him into this slow, steady, respect the elders and dot your, I's and cross your T's type music, everything gotta walk in slow shuffle and, maintain, your marching order and everything like that. And you got a guy that's literally just shredding all over the place and shredding like crazy. But he's shredding with a lot of emotion, a lot of feel, a lot of complex sophistication, because this is literally the greatest shredder. Not the fastest shredder. He's one of the fast ones for sure. One of the fastest. He could shred as fast as anyone, but that's just not his emphasis. He shreds fast, but just the greatest in terms of his ability and his expressive and musical talent. And that's the thing about it. He's just so musical. He's not just shredding. He's shredding with a lot of musicality, which is just insane. Just insane. Kind of like with Ingrid Malmsteen or guys like Excel Rudy Pearl or George Lynch. Those guys pick a lot of musicality behind their shred, and that's what's so great about these guys. And Gary Moore was like that. And now you put him in blues and he totally blows up the blues, because now the blues, he's shredding blues guitar fast. That's something that he had not really been heard. Like, that was new, man. And he plays the blues with such taste, such finesse. Like, you can listen to the blues over and over again all day and you're not gonna get bored. your ear is still gonna be rapt attention, paying rapt attention. Like, whoa, dude, what did he just do there? You know, like the blues becomes like a great adventure movie. And so that's something he did for the blues that the blues didn't have. Like the blues, in a sense, was kind of boring. For like respectable, legendary, yes, but boring, slow and boring. Because you kind of knew like, oh, these guys ain't gonna do much. You like, that's as fast as they can play. Uh, like you knew if you wanted adventure, you had to go and play some country music, or you had to go and play some rock. You might get a bit more adventure out of that. But so when Gary Moore came, like the greatest shredder came into the blues, whoa, man, he mixed it up. He mixed it up and he turned the whole blues world 360 degrees around. And he just made it different and he made it better. And he played with all the legends like B.B. King, Albert King. All these guys respected him. He respected the blues. He respected all these guys, these legends. So it's not like he was saying the blues as you guys have been doing it is all wrong. Like he respected where these guys came from and what they had done. But he was just being able to elevate the blues to the next level. And you kind of need that in any music genre. Like look at rap music, like you had the likes of Tupac, and then Biggie came on the scene, and he was able to elevate the game. And then you had different other guys do their thing in rap music. You had different kinds of acts that were able to contribute what they were able to add to the game. And then later on you had these days now you got guys like Rick Ross, Ace Hood, those kind of younger guys that have been able to do their thing in the game, and they've been able to take the game to the next level. So the blues kind of needed that as well. It had the old guard, the old guys, but you needed someone new with great technical ability, like Gary Moore. Like if you listen to his blues stuff, you will be blown away. And I think it really changed the blues, because after that, now you got other blues legends like Joe Bonamassa, and the style of blues that Joe Bonamassa has been able to play would not have been so popularized if guys like Gary Moore hadn't played that style where it's okay to shred. You can shred. You don't have to hide that you're a great guitar player. Joe Bonamassa, again, one of my favorite all-time guitar players. And in my view, one of the absolute top 10 all-time guitar players. But way, way more technical, way more guitar, kind of like raw guitar talent than the old legends like the B.B. Kings and the Albert Kings. Not to say those guys were bad guitar players, they were good, but they just, the thing in their day was not to be a virtuoso guitar player. The thing was more so the composition, the songwriting, keeping the emotional feel in the music, communication, the phrasing, the thing. But Joe Bonamassa can phrase, can shred, can do all these things. Still has the feel, the touch, the emotion. He's just taking the blues to the next level. And a lot of that you have to give tribute to what Gary Moore was able to do, and the fact that he was able to do it at a time when it was kind of like a new thing. It was kind of like, I think some of the legends might even have looked at him a little bit when he was doing it, like, dude, is that really blues anymore? Like, I'm sure he might have felt or faced some pushback from, if not from the legends themselves, then from the people around the legends. Like, guys, what's that young guy doing with the blues, man? That's not the blues. You know what I'm saying? Like, but he was able to work with the legends and kind of have their okay to be able to kind of try and push the blues to that new level that it had never been pushed to before. And his metal work is just outstanding. His blues work is just outstanding. And all in all, man, you got what I consider just the greatest guitar player all time, Gary Moore.